Hey, how is everybody doing? How was your Valentine? Did you buy things for people? Did anyone buy things for you? Welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Stella Luca, and I'm very passionate about family and work-life balance. Today, I am talking about tips on how to manage relationship. It doesn't matter what kind of, but I would like to use marriage because, and I know that so many people are facing challenges with relationships, especially marriage. That's why you hear there is a lot of divorce cases. You hear there are so many single parenting, and to be honest, no one is an expert. Whatever it is, anyone talks to you about, counsels you about, shares with you, is completely based on experiences, what they have observed, what they have experienced, and what they have learned from it, and some of the strategies probably they have used and how they've landed safely on the other side. My main objective is to, share my experience, my mistakes, and what has worked with for me with the people in my community, so that whenever anyone finds themselves in the same situation, they know what to do and they have something to reference to help them also do better in whatever it is that they have said. We are talking about relationship tips. In any constitution, be it marriage, be it parenting, be it business, companies, organization, you will find that communication is stressed a lot. Communication is very important. And when you communicate, it's not about just talking. They say that listening is actually far better than talking, because when you listen, you collect data. For example, let me use dating relationship. When you go out with someone, do not forget to study the person. Someone said that dating is collecting data. Ask questions. And if someone asks you questions, be willing to share, because the other person is also learning about you, and that will help both of you reach a common ground on whether it is that you are fit for each other or you are not. Dating is very important. Why? Because once you enter a relationship, for example, marriage relationship, they say it is for better and for worse, till death do you part. That is not a joking statement. It's a serious thing. Whoever that came up with that statement knows that marriage is not a joking thing. I was listening to a podcast by one Ugandan YouTuber, Lisa, and she brought two couples who were sharing their testimony of how bad it was and how they were able to resolve their differences. And today they are pastoring, and they are actually a youth pastor in a university. You see? So some of the things that you gauge, you understand during a dating relationship is to find out if that person has the qualities that will enable them to stay in that relationship when things go bad. And also, it's one of a way for you to find out if somebody has the staying will. When these couples were talking about what it is that they went through, it was just so bad. The husband was very free to own up to his mistakes and said he was drinking, and he was really bad, to the extent that at one point he found himself being imprisoned for murder. But this lady did not go. And so the person who is facilitating their discussion asked the lady why she didn't just abandon that man and leave. And the lady responded saying, I have seen some qualities in this man that I felt, and I knew that he was good internally. just that he was finding himself. Man, that one touched me. To be able to see beyond that person's fault, that takes time. And that's very deep. And it is something that we are lacking right now. As women, we are lacking as partners. The ability to see beyond somebody's fault. To me, that was deep. And also, for this man to be able to acknowledge, it reached a point the lady is like, you know what? I'm leaving. I cannot stay like this. I have to leave. This man was able to apologize genuinely and acknowledging that he had a problem. And he told this lady, instead of you leaving, let me leave you here in the house. Let me go to the rehabilitation center. That was deep. I just felt like it's very difficult to find such people. One, it is very difficult to find a man who will just own up and calm down and acknowledge and accept to seek for help. And for a lady to have that staying will to be like, I know that my husband is a good person. Much as he's doing whatever he's doing, much as we are going through, there was cheating, there was alcoholism, there was a case of murder. There was a lot of reasons for her to leave. But how they were able to pick themselves to the extent that when things go bad, they will be able to figure out how to do this thing. Did not start at that point when they were having a problem. It started way back when they were dating. They saw some elements for each other that they felt even when they get into marriage, if things go bad, they will be able to resolve whatever differences that they have, and they will be able to still overcome whatever problems that they have, which most of us are missing. When we are in a relationship, we are only thinking of how the other person is loving me, how the other person is rich, how the other person is, beautiful and things like that. But the dating part is where you should take seriously if this person is having the qualities. Forget about beauty and other things. Those are just top-ups. But is this person able? Is this person patient enough? If this person respectful enough? Does this person have a listening ability? Does this person communicate well? Does this person go beyond their means to provide? For you to know all these things, then you need to be able to listen. You need to be able to communicate well and take advantage of the dating period. It's just, I am an HR by profession. And whenever we are looking for somebody to employ, there are so many things that we look at to gauge whether that person is fit for the job or not. And that includes how the person is presenting themselves. We ask some questions that would either provoke or would make somebody, explain things. We observe their body language. We look at so many things. Their intellect, their patience, their teamwork, ability, we gauge. And then it doesn't just stop at that. It goes into probation period. We give 3 months and see if this person is able to do the job or not. And for some organizations, it goes even up to 1 year. The person is being tested. The person is being observed. The person is being put through a process of, understanding to see if they can withstand pressure, if they are what they have said during the interview. The same thing works in any kind of relationship. So from the start, you look at the situation and you gauge for yourself if this person able to stand tough times, challenges, yes or not. So communication is very vital in any kind of relationship. And even when you are inside the marriage, if someone says, I am not happy about this thing, don't just impose whatever it is that you think the person should feel, do, or understand. This person is the one wearing the shoe. If they say this shoe is pressing me here, accept it, because you are not the one that is wearing the shoes. And you should also be able to understand the other person. So communication is very important. The second thing is to pick well. This is similar to the first point we talked about, but it is also different. I've already probably talked about it already, but for you to pick well, I was listening to a podcast also recently where Michelle Obama was being interviewed, and this person asked her, how were you able to live that long with your husband, Barack? And she said, marriage is not easy for anyone. And I remember her saying that they are not better in their marriage as well. But they were able to live together is because they saw in themselves the things that they wanted in a relationship. So, for you to be able to live in a happy marriage, do not rush. Pick well. If you feel you want a beautiful woman, then look for that beautiful woman. If you feel like you want a light-skinned woman, look for that light-skinned woman. Because time will come when all the lovey-dovey will fade away. But at least because naturally there is something that you want in the other person, it will make you stay in it. If you want a tall, dark, handsome man, then look for that tall, dark, handsome man. Why? Because that is what you desire. And because that is what you desire, then even when things go bad, you will still see the things that you want in that person, and then it will keep you still in the same place. Also, you cannot say you want a good woman, yet you are not working on yourself. Likewise, a woman cannot say, I want a good man, and they do not work on themselves. Why? Because there are so many things that people go through. They can be childhood trauma, they can be abuse, and all these other things. Unless you work on yourself, imagine you're going to burden your partner. I am saying this out of experience. Personally, I went through childhood trauma. I grew up in several homes with under different authorities, leadership, different setting of household. So it affected me. Even when I am older, I was not able to function normally. I could not handle relationship very well, and it affected my early stage of relationship until I was able to take time. Until I was able to acknowledge that I had a fault. I sat down and looked for help in order to heal myself, so that I will be able to present myself to my husband well. So I almost did not make it in my marriage. Why? Because I expected my husband to make me happy. Like I practically lived on my husband's approval, Like I wanted him to be there. I didn't have friends, so I expected him to be my friend. I expected him to be everything, to love me. Even when he loved me, he knew that he loved me, but I wanted too much. That was not knowing that I was suffering from my childhood trauma. So before you enter any relationship, before you start putting demands on your partner, maybe you should look internally and see how good you are and make yourself better in order to serve yourself better to your partner. Become the right person so that your qualities will attract the same thing that you want. Work on yourselves, heal yourself, better yourself, and then now you start looking for somebody of the same quality that you have invested in yourself. All right, the foundation that your partner is based or built on. What is the foundation of that person? To know this, you will see the kind of parents that this person have, the kind of family this person is coming from, the kind of friends and relationship that this person is keeping. That will give you an understanding of what this person believes in, what principles guides him, and that there are people who just live. They just wake up in the morning and they have no aspiration, no goals, no objectives. They just live. So, and at this point, you want somebody to follow you. How can somebody be following you when you do not even have a basic vision? You don't have a direction. How can somebody follow you that way? So, for you to be able to get life together with anyone, you need to know what this person's foundation is. It's very important, because when things go bad, you will be able to understand whether this is the kind of person who can withstand problem, or even you can see if his cycle of friends, relatives, whatever, can be able to help you guys to stand together. That does not mean you will be sharing whatever information with everybody. At least you will see who this person respects. If a man has no one on this planet Earth that they respect, run. Because time will come when things go really bad. This person will never bow, will never accept for anyone to talk to them about whatever situation that you are going through. So you need to find out who this person respects, who his friends is, what he believes, what his principles are, principles of life, what is guiding him, what is his vision. Now, when you know all these things, now you follow him. Because a man to me is not just a man, a husband in the house. A man is a leader. It doesn't matter whether he's a boda cyclist, whether he's a tomato seller, he is a charcoal seller, it doesn't matter. All I want is this person has a roadmap leading him to a destination, and I will have to see that destination, if it's where I want to go. Now, as a man also, you look at the woman that you are getting involved with. Does this person have the capacity to support you? A woman who says, I don't believe in the saying in the Bible that women help us and women are created to help, run away from that woman. Because as a woman, look, they say the man is the head and the woman is the neck. What does the neck do? The neck is supporting the head. You like it or you don't like it, this is where your position is, and this is where your position is. Unfortunately, you can go up here, then guess what? You are getting out. The moment you move yourself out here, then you are leaving. Do not put yourself in a position where you will find problems with your husband. it doesn't matter, even if you're the breadwinner. It does not mean that you have to share all whatever it is your finances with your husband, but accepting that he is the leader is very important. I talked about how you can communicate and get your ideas to your husband. You'll find the videos in my YouTube or even on Facebook. You will find them. Find a way to communicate to your husband. Never make your husband feel small, even if you are the minister and he's a chaplain. There is a lady I remember in Uganda. I think she was a minister, but when she comes home, that ministry remains at the gate. When she enters her home, she honors her husband. She respects the husband. She's guided by the principle of whatever it is the husband vows. Now, in a relationship, one person has to be a leader, another one is a follower. All of you cannot lead, all of you cannot be following. If a man, you are not able to see this kind of elements in a woman, my brother, run. This woman might be good for another man who sees things the way she sees, but it is not for you. If you're the type of a man who prefers to lead and you want your woman not necessarily to bow down to you in a slavery kind of a way, but to commit, to submit to you, then this woman is not for you. Identify that from that point, the principle, the foundation of that person. What does this person believe in? If you feel that you will not agree, don't say this woman is going to change or anything like that. Run. Because the period of that love, it fades after a period of time. Then when reality kicks in, you will be depending on the character of that person, on the beliefs of that person in order to forge your way out. Again, I am not a marriage expert, but I have observed enough. After a 14-year of marriage experience, after giving birth to my 5 children, I have learned, I have made mistakes, and by the way, I almost did not make it with my husband. But because I reached a point, called myself to a meeting, I was able to rectify certain things, and we are fighting life together. With one hand, I am fighting the world, and the other, I have held my children and my husband and my home. So this is my advice to those ones who are already in marriage, or those ones who are planning to get married, or even those ones who have just gotten married. If it means ending relationship because you cannot find certain things that help you hold on to marriage when the reality kicks in, stop it there. You will help yourself a lot. Because divorce, when children are already in the picture, is not ideal, and it does not help, and it is not really a good thing. Find out what the vision of that person is, especially if you are a lady. The vision of your husband is. When I met my husband, I met him, and he's married. I don't know 4 times when had it been that I met him, look at important things in this person. Do you think this person has got potential? Do you think this person is going somewhere where you would like to go? Can you tag along with this person? Find out. You also, as the man, see this woman. Is she patient enough to wait until you make it? Is she money-minded? Is she able to support your dreams, your vision? If she's not the type of a person and she's money-minded, and she doesn't care, run for your life. Why? Marriage is not a joke. Even those ones who are inside there, if there is a way you can just check out, people would have. But there are certain things that kept people within marriage. So it is a very serious union. There are certain things you have to really check before you get. Find out what the vision of that person is. Is this person capable of taking care of you? Is he a good father? If you are this type of a person who believes in progress, who believes in change, then for sure that is a keeper. Is this person educated enough? That is if you want an educated person. And today, by the way, so many people have made it even without education. But do you find this person having the ability to hustle, to make it out in life? Do you think he has good ideas? Good ideas that will bring you guys out, that will make him be able to provide for you, provide for your needs. If that is the person that you're looking for, then it doesn't matter even if they don't have something right now. And in the future, by God's grace, they will make it. I wish I could tell you how we suffered some years back. We never had anything. But the blessing that has come through my husband, I never take it for granted. Had it been that I did not look at who he was, what it is that he is capable of, his personality, I would have missed out. But I was able to see something good in him, and I said, you know what? For now, this guy might not be able to, do certain things. He's coming, from a humble background, but he looks like he has the potential, and he has studied, and he's a hard-working person. Definitely, he will be able to cater for us. Not once. There are moments, I remember I stayed home for 4 years without work. He single-handedly was able to provide, pay for my school. I went to a very expensive school, which he actually suggested for me, and he was able to pay. I never paid a dime. I don't even know how he does the transfer. He paid for my school. He paid for it himself. At one point, he does not even have the capacity to pay his own school fees, but it reached a point he was able to make me go through to finish my master's. So do not look down on people. What is important is to see where this person is going, what potential this person has, and how you can make it together with him. Find out what the vision of your partner is, and if it suits you, if it rhymes with what you are looking for, then you guys are good together. And if it's not, my dear brother, my dear sister, part ways right now to avoid any kind of hurt in the near future. Sex! Woo! Sex, sex. I am not saying don't have sex, but my dear brother, my dear sister, avoid sex at the early stage. One night stand, maybe both of you are not even understanding what you are doing, and that's your business. As a Christian, I wouldn't advise that you do it. But if you are a serious person and you're looking for a serious thing, avoid having sex at an early stage without knowing clearly who this person is, because sex is a very confusing agent. This is an emotion. You are having a part of that person in you. The other one is you get involved into certain things, and then you will not be able to undo it. For instance, you get pregnant with this person and you were not prepared to marry, and then you end up marrying without properly knowing somebody, and then you get into a serious problem. After 1 month, 2 months, 2 years down the road, you are divorcing. Moreover, if you are to hold on to that, you will not even get involved in this kind of thing, so that you understand yourselves better first before you get into that serious intimacy. That is try not to do it. By the way, the Bible, God is very smart. The Bible is very, very legit for those who follow the principles of the Bible. There is nothing the Bible has said and you go contrary and you do not face problems. When God says, hold on, wait until you marry, He was not joking. It is true. And the funny thing with God is that He does not deny you. He tells you, if you go like this, you will find this, and if you go like this, you'll find this. The option is yours for what you want to do. I might be talking to you. Maybe it is God even talking to you right now through me. Because they say God uses people to reach whoever it is that He wants to reach to. I might be telling you this thing. Maybe you are thinking for yourself, I want to have sex with that person. I have gone through that thing, and there are certain mistakes that I made. I will reach a point I was not able to undo, and I got into serious problem, depression. I almost could not make it in my marriage. So if you're hearing me, my brother, and you're hearing me, my sister, for now, avoid sex until you know who it is that you are dealing with before you get deep intimately. Okay, last but not least, to gauge people's tolerance capacity, the ability to be patient, to be able to tolerate certain things. And please, I'm not talking about tolerating abuse, tolerating misbehavior, but I am talking about tolerance of minor things like picking fight or wanting to solve everything. Sometimes to just chill, relax, and let people do their own things. Let people learn from their mistake. You being able to grow with someone. They make mistakes, you tell them, hey, listen, I am not comfortable with this thing and I would want that you change it. You are not growing in the same home, okay? So at one point when you come together, both of you grew up, 20, 25 years apart in complete different environment, different household setting. There is no way you're just going to get along. For instance, there are people who would just throw things and they don't see a problem with that. There are people who would, start squeezing toothpaste from the middle, and there are people who are not comfortable with. There are people who will just leave lights on, and there are people who will be like, why are you just leaving the lights on? There are people, I am one of those people, when I'm sleeping, I do not like someone just switching on the light. And my husband used to have that, and we would fight just because he switched on the light when I am sleeping. And for him, he does not see why is it that I am feeling the way I am feeling. And I also don't understand why somebody would just switch on the light when someone is sleeping. So we had to reach, a common ground and saying, hey, I find it disrespectful when you are doing ABCD. And then he also figured out how to make sure that when he's entering a place and I am sleeping, he is minimizing the noise and he's not just using the light anyhow. Like, he's very careful with it. So we had to learn that from each other in our marriage, even during our relationship. So understanding somebody's tolerance capacity, which today apparently is very rare to find people who can tolerate you for who you are, is so challenging, and it's one of the reasons people just end their marriages anytime without even giving as like, I cannot deal with this, and they are out. You're going to miss out on good things. You need to develop reasonable tolerance capacity to be able to tolerate the other person as they go through change, as they learn each other, understanding each other. You need to be able to tolerate. So if you are in a relationship and you find that this person cannot tolerate certain things, like they are impatient, they are temperamental, you go out into a restaurant and they just lash out and they are fighting with, probably you need to start thinking whether you really want to stay with this kind of a person or not. Your antenna of discernment should be high, because such kind of people, by the way, they will hide that element in them. You understand them through observation. You have gone out, you see how they handle situations, bad, negative situation, how they handle it. If you don't pick the phone, how they react. These people will never change. So do not get involved with anyone who lashes like that. Anybody who is fighting out there, fighting the border people, they come out of the car and quarrel with those people, will never change. In marriage, imagine you make any mistake, they're ready to beat you, fight you. You can see this thing. If you are patient enough, if you're observant enough, and if you're able to discern, take your time to discern and understand. Observe your partner very well, so that we can minimize this issue of divorce, single parenting. We are making the world bad by what we are doing. And please, I'm not saying that you should be in a marriage that is abusive. In fact, end it. But also, these tips that I'm sharing with you is for you to be able to avoid certain people, so that they will have time to deal with their issues before they get involved with others. Well, let's not make this very long. They say a word to a wise is enough. There is nothing that I've said that probably you have not heard about before. All these things is just me emphasizing on some of the things that you already know. But if you find my content of value to you, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and let me know in the comment section what is your take home for you, or out of all these things that I have seen. Otherwise, I appreciate you for all this time that you have sat here, and I never take your time for granted. My name is Stella Luka, for those who do not know me, and I'm very passionate about family and work-life balance. Until then, bye-bye.